How's everybody doing today? I hope you're doing well. I know I have been making a lot of content lately. I apologize. With the whole kind of been busy with work. Plus, I'm still dealing with the health issue involving my hearing. On a positive note, well, kind of positive, kind of negative. Turns out that the pounding in my left ear, well, that's never going to go away because they fixed my ears to the point that now I have pretty much extremely severe tinnitus, and I'm going to have to get used to hearing the pounding in my ears for the rest of my life. So that's not good. But on the positive, for the right side, they put tubes in my ear, and that's to drain the pressure on the inside. And already, immediately, I've noticed vast improvements where I'm not getting the terrible pressure in my skull, especially on the right side, and I'm not dealing with like really extreme vertigo and nausea or anything like that. So that's a vast improvement. And the docs believe that once my ear is kind of done draining and all, I'll be able to wear a hearing aid on the right side and I should be able to hear again. So fingers crossed. So can't wear the hearing aid right now though, because right now my ear is leaking like a sieve. But that out of the way, I noticed there was stuff on Twitter about this is supposedly Patrick. I haven't really watched it yet. It's supposed to be a video, and I can already tell it was kind of blurry. So I already kind of set this down to like uh, zero point 0.5 speed. See if I can make anything out. I'm not sure if this is Patrick or not. We'll just pretend like it is. Uh, I don't know if there's audio to it. I wouldn't hear it either way, so you guys can fill me in on what your thoughts on whether or not this is Patrick, but we'll give it a play. So it looks like I it's very shaky. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Was that a swing? If okay. Um, I've always had the opinion that in America, there's a lot of people who have different opinions on police. Some people are like, ACAB, all cops are bastards. Other people are like, oh, thin blue line. They're the only thing protecting us from anarchy and total chaos and law and order. And you always got to back the blue. And it doesn't matter how terrible of a story about a cop is, somebody will always chime in, well, not all cops. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I've always felt that your view on the police is primarily made up based on your experience with the police. And in my case, I've had nothing but, for the most part, terrible experiences with the police, primarily because I'm a pretty big guy. Uh, I'm big and I'm physically imposing. I take care of myself. And so naturally, I run into cops that kind of have that short man's disease. I think I told a story one time on one of my videos where I got a frantic phone call from a mother of a veteran that I was trying to help out, and he was having a real bad episode, like he was getting suicidal kind of thing. And I met her in front of her house, and she had already called the police, and I didn't know that. And as soon as the cops showed up, they basically took me down hard, handcuffed me on the gravel, and they kind of beat the shit out of me. Why? Because I'm a big guy. And it's kind of the crap that I always have to deal with. And then on top of this, I have the other big issue being deaf. Um, you'll typically run in these situations where cops will start barking orders at you, but they also don't want you looking at them, which makes it very difficult for me to follow verbal instructions if I can't read your lips. And of course, the police in America are taught that if you do not get compliance, you have the right to execute somebody in the street without trial. So naturally, I have an extremely low opinion of the police. I will tell you this right flipping now. One, I wouldn't be allowed out of my house without being already handcuffed. Two, even if I was handcuffed, and if I made a move to where looked like I was about to move my shoulder into a cop, they would have iced my ass. Like, this is crazy. Maybe he's pulling his arm away or something, but that to me looks like he's taking a swing. And to a cop, it doesn't matter if you're just trying to pull your arm away. Like you're not complying. Um, I'm gonna have to point out the fact that if this is Pat, if Pat was any more physically if Pat was actually physically imposing, he'd be in for a bad time. And he's obviously not. Also, if he was like an African American, I don't know, like an 86-year-old woman, they would have thrown her to the ground and just fucked her up, and she probably would have bled out internally from broken ribs. It's what is this? Minnesota, Milwaukee? It's Wisconsin. They don't like black people. That's pretty much established. Like I would never be allowed to be anywhere near the cops without already being in handcuffs. That's always been my experience. They're handcuffing him while he's standing up. He's really, really lucky. I wish I had his luck, man. I bet you he's like jaw jacking the entire time too. I would love to know what the hell he's saying. I knowing knowing what I've read about Patrick and the way he reacts to people, he's probably barking at them to take their hands off him or something. But maybe he can land a lawsuit and start paying off his other lawsuits that he's lost. Wait, did they so they have a handcuffed and they just let him go? I, that blows my mind. That blows my mind. Holy cow. I'll tell you this right now. When I interact with the police, I'm the biggest pussycat. The biggest pussy. Because I'm scared crapless of cops. I am scared crapless of cops. Because I know I intimidate them. And all a cop has to do to justify a shooting is to say, I was scared. I was scared. And there would be no way that I could take close to anything remotely close to a threatening pose or a swing at a cop, and they just come all around me, hold me down. I guess they must have calmed him down, and then just let him go. Holy cow! And again, if he was Latino, if he was an African American, completely different story. Like straight up, for like white people out there, and people that can hear, and I don't know, people that aren't afraid of cops. Like this is the kind of crap that like pisses off other people, like people like myself, because I would never in a million years get the benefit of the doubt here. I really wish I knew what he was saying because he seems like he's really moving his hands and stuff around. He's lucky, man. I'm guessing maybe he wasn't freaking out too much. Then again, though, he took a swing. At least it looked to me like he took a swing. I mean, we've had like 9-year-old children getting iced by cops for having like a Nerf dart gun in a public park, and this guy could take a swing at a cop with all the cops around him, and they just let him go. Now, I will say this: if this was Patrick and this is a result of a swatting, he doesn't deserve that. The people that are swatting him need to be caught and prosecuted. I think people put him through way too much shit, even though he's an asshole and he brings it upon himself. Swatting should never, ever, ever be done. But it just blows my mind how, like, rules for thee, not for me kind of thing. Because I know it ain't for me, man. Like, what I hate for me is going anywhere near, like, a checkpoint. And when they want to just stop you, and because they see my face, they want me out of the car. Next thing you know, they're trying to bark orders at me, and since I'm not facing them, I can't follow them. And then next thing you know, they're trying to slam my head as hard as they can into the hood of my car or my pickup truck, which is always kind of funny because I do go down, but I don't let them actually hit my head against the hood of the car, and they tend to notice that because I'm a big enough size and I work out enough that if I want to physically resist, I'm able to do that. But at the same time, I can't ever lose my cool. Can't ever lose my cool. Because we hire any knucklehead with a GED in this country now to be a police officer. And we give them a gun, body armor, and qualitative immunity or whatever. But I digress. It's just going to be a little short video just because of what this came up. So again, I don't know if that was Patrick. If it was Patrick, it is. If it wasn't, it wasn't. And again, I don't know what was actually said. So if whatever he was saying, if you want to fill me in, feel free to. I didn't bother trying to do my phone closed captioning because chances are the audio quality is not going to be very good anyway, so it wouldn't work. Y'all take care of each other. Watch out for each other in this heat. Ciao.